Oh, I thought you were going to say you got a black eye or something. Why are you so puffy?
Well, what I did
Did you
do,
cry
I
again?
cried again.
He's
No,
a
we
crier.
had some wine last night over at the hotel, and like, you left, and I was like, I'll just grab another drink because I was going to meet up with some friends. So I asked the bartender for a drink. I'm like, give me a drink that'll like pick me up, like something. So he made me this like concoction with blueberries and like whiskey and shit.
Oh no.
Took it up to my room.
Sounds amazing.
I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning on top of my bed, fully clothed.
Let's talk about the film.
Yes. In the press packet, and it's not in the film.
Ooh,
I don't even know. I don't know if you need to talk. I don't know even if you can touch upon it. From the press packet, it seemed there was like a full collaboration, but there's something not in the film. It's not mentioned in the film, and it's mentioned in the press packet that this organization is Greek. And I felt if it was in the film, it would have just given a better understanding to the history. Because once I read that, it actually was like, okay, now things make a little bit more sense. And he just mentions how long it's been around, but it doesn't. Adding that word Greek gives it a little bit more of a.
It's like everything. Same with yogurt.
Yeah, it's
Just
true.
add Greek and you're like, ah.
It just added a little bit more. So was there a reason that why you guys decided to like not put as much explanation to what was really going on at all, or how it?
We didn't want to get into it too much because we didn't want it to be like all like I hate those moments in films where it's like, oh, this is the part of the movie where it's all exposition and you find out what everything is about. And we needed that. Obviously, you have to have that in film.
But you wanted it still. But you wanted to keep.
Want it to be organic, So if it's about him and his bloodline, and also the word Maenad itself is a Greek word, and the Maenads were from Greek society.
I don't think I caught the name ever.
So that's why Sherilyn is Elizabeth is up talking about the Maenads and how
so it's more
they've existed since and the Maenads were a real tribe of it's a barbarian horde of women.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exist, like back in the day, and that seal.
So it's all there, just a little bit more subtle instead of right in your face.
I'm all about
we did
subtlety. Just in that part.
Well, just because it opened up
a lot more of it as well. And
there was
like lots of things in the editing process, and for the flow of the movie, what's more important to give you all the information or to have it so that you stay with us, and like.
So wait, was Rosario's fight role bigger than just getting the hell kicked? She just wanted to get beat up in the film as a favor.
She didn't even know Rosario was coming.
Oh,
it was a surprise.
Weird. So it wasn't. Yeah, I thought you were the one who would have brought it in.
No, it was instigated on my behalf, but Josh and Tracy Toms got together and made it a surprise.
We did like a little surprise where I was like, Zoe, we couldn't get that girl. Like we had to get some last minute
we've
fighter.
cast already, and I was like, wait, without my permission, you didn't even talk to me. But yeah, I was definitely.
And I was like, look,
producer kicked in. I was
with
like,
this girl, like she's in the arena already. And, like,
I don't know if she's done much fighting, and I was like, are you guys serious right now? And Rosario walked in, and I was like, I should just like Rosario. Oh my God, it's Rosario!
So you so that whole sequence was improv stunt that on.
No, we worked on the choreography with Ro, but we did it without her knowledge.
Without me knowing anything.
Ro had like read the script and like knew the scene and was working with her trainer and her choreographer and like getting ready. So then when Zoe walked into the arena and Rosario's there in like gray sweats and a tank top.
No, I was in the arena and she walked in, so I saw her walking up the hallway and I was like.
Yeah, that scene wasn't real. That wasn't even. Yeah, that scene was cut though. It went straight to that fight, if I recall. In the film, it goes straight to just her fight.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
like, we just
but she's not meant to be a character.
Yeah, she's
in the
just.
movie.
Yeah, she's not a character.
My friend has come in to do a cameo. Like she's not a role.
It was just. So it was more just a nod of cuteness more than anything. It was just.
I love that.
There was no.
I don't know if I call it a nod of cuteness.
You know what I mean?
Bleeding.
Well, you know what I mean. A nod of cuteness to the.
No, it's a nod to the love we have.
Yeah,
it would be different, and it would also be different if like Ro was a shitty actress, but she's an incredible actress.
No, she's
phenomenal.
Who comes in
I've known her for years, so I know how good she is.
Blows it away.
And is like so emotional during her death, and plus I think that a lot of fans will, really like seeing the whole like, Tracy.
I know.
What do they call
the only
them?
thing I was bummed was
Tracy Rose.
Tresario love. I'm like, yo, guys, where's the Zorarius love?
It would just be Zorro.
Zorro. Well, we've talked about that, but that was a bad TV show.
Story compliment. Psychological effect to not tell you. So when you do act out a scene, you would respond differently.
I can't see your
so
mouth.
I guess it was for the psychological effect.
Yeah.
So as I noticed in some of the scenes, you're wanting to play up the humanity of the women as much as the action sequences. Nice. So I noticed the TVs were in everyone's room. as well as they could talk to each other. So did they plan on doing that to have an entertainment factor being a psychological struggle between the two fighters, or was it so that they could improve on their fighting skills? Why did they?
So they can watch on the screen.
Yeah.
It's a psychological thing.
Torture.
It's part of the torture, and it's also because that's how they can prove because that they're going to like
if they don't
you
fight,
don't do this, we will kill someone.
Yeah.
And so they could just be empty words. So if you see one of the other initiates who's like unable or refuses to fight, and then the screen changes to whoever that person's relative is, and you see them get murdered on all the screens and all the cells, the other girls are going to be like,
maybe I might fight.
and then also psychologically, for them to be able to see the other fights.
Well, you see the thing like Sabrina. Wait, that's a spoiler. Don't print.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah. Is because the whole point of these guys that want to see these women fight, they believe they're doing it for the good and the strength of women, and so they want to see a woman get to a place like that. So they love that Sabrina gets to that place. They love that seeing makes Sabrina like, wow, like...
That doesn't explain the women in the society, and especially the old sick women. Like, why are there members of
The old sick ones.
There's an old woman in this society. What, like, there's one in the party. What's their mentality of like someone like an old woman who's like not even
They're a family. Like they're
So
all
what's-
families that are
But
all
do
part of a
you think
larger
Joseph is going to
society.
grow old and then stop being a sick and twisted bastard?
No.
Elizabeth's going to get old at some point. She's still going to be
But
sick
they're
and
not.
twisted.
But they're not sick and twisted in their eyes.
And
Like,
they're-
like
okay.
Zoe say, like the society is all doing
This
something.
extreme fight.
They don't see it as like, oh, we're abducting women and then we're torturing them to death.
They're not like, yeah,
They're
die.
seeing
They're
it
like,
as,
when?
This is going to empower women, and we're
Yeah,
going to do
that's-
it like one woman at a time. Because out of these 50 women, one will survive, and she will be changed. She will see what her true power. And it's more than cooking and cleaning and doing all this shit. It's like women are capable of much more than men are.
How you found the transition from doing stunts to acting? Was that something you always intended to do?
No, not when I was way early on. No, I mean, I had done acting in school, and I just love to perform. I like to make people laugh, which ironically this movie doesn't do at all, really. But
there are a few laugh moments.
yeah, see, we laugh our asses off during this movie.
I mean, the slam against the wall that Phoebe does, there's something almost, it's visceral, but it's just so extreme that it almost makes you go, like, damn, girl.
We've all wanted to cheese grate someone down a wall.
Right? I've just been dying to. Anyway, but so it was always sort of something that was, people would always say to me, do you want to get into acting? I was like, no, I'm all about jumping off buildings and shit. That's my stuff, And then Quentin wrote me into Death Proof, and I was like, or I could do, like 60 pages of dialogue. No problem. No idea how to do that. But and from there, it sort of felt like a natural progression. And it's been difficult for me, I'm not going to lie, like less... I mean, the art of acting is like I go to class, I do whatever I can so I can practice it, but the biggest thing for me is getting comfortable with it. Like being relaxed, showing emotions, and having the camera in my face as opposed to behind me.
Well, the camera likes your face.
Thank you very much. But my face didn't like the camera to begin with. I was like,
Yeah, I don't. But the more I understood like what Quentin originally saw. I'm assuming you saw it when you were doing stunts for Uma, and he's like,
Yeah.
wow, she actually could just be Uma, and that's probably where his genesis
I think there was a little bit of that. I mean, not that I could just be.
You know what
by
I
any
mean,
means,
but like-
yeah. But I think also Double Dare was
Right, that
around
was
at that
great.
point, and he loved the documentary, and he was sort of a friend of it, and he would screen it to people, and people loved me as a character, and he was like, I'm going to make her a character in my movie, And also the conversation that we would have on Kill Bill was very much him. It was the first time someone had directed me as a stunt person,
Right.
the same way he was directing all the actors. He was like, what's your motivation? I'm like, paycheck. What are you talking about? He's like, no, seriously, what's motivation? I'm like, oh, sorry, my bad, to kill these guys. And he's like, yes, but why do you kill those guys? I'm like, to get to the staircase? He's like, why do you need to get up the staircase? I'm like, to kill those guys? He's like, why? And I'm like, because they killed my unborn child and stole my life, I think. And he was like, yes. And I was like, oh, hand me my sword. I'm going to go kill some people here. But I think just that relationship struck something for him. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I don't even know.
Well,
if
it
he knows
struck
how
other
his
people
mind
too.
works.
I mean,
Is
you
this your
know,
first lead role?
the Ed Brubaker thing is fabulous.
Right, yes.
That was.
Thank you. There
I
was
love
a
that
thing
thing.
called Angel of Death that he's referring to that
Cool.
Ed
Oh, yes.
Brubaker wrote and Paul Etheridge directed. That would be my first.
We said hi, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Brubaker, yeah. it was
He's here probably
Yeah,
somewhere.
No, he's not.
Oh, no, he's not.
Although I'm actually probably seeing him in London next week.
Oh,
He's-
tell him I
okay.
said hi.
He's going to be in the Lake District for a convention there.
Definitely
Oh,
tell him I
okay.
said hi. Please
Yes,
tell
I
him I
will
said
do.
hi. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, like, does Quentin or Uma have any more plans to like do any more stunts with you? I know they keep threatening like Kill Bill 3 as like this phantom.
Yeah, that is sort of a phantom thing. I'm not like on regular speaking terms with, not speaking terms, but I don't speak with Uma a lot. I mean, if we see each other, it'd be fun for us to hang out. And I'd love to work with her. I'd like to act opposite her though. I don't know if I need to double her. Again.
Like a villain
you're
or something? Or
Yeah,
like
how
a
cool would
comedy?
that be?
that'd
Me and
be-
her actually fighting each
That'd
other?
be, it'd be beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful. I said beautiful.
Beautiful, you did
My
say.
own personal goal with this movie in relation to like my friend Zoe
Is to make
we
that
know each
happen.
other, is to not that like I mean look, the reason why I always gravitated towards Zoe and we met each other was through like death groups. I was just like, my God, that girl, like, you know, and then we actually just became friends. But like I would like to see her transition out of the stunt world
And straight
become
into.
solely as like a leading woman
I
or
agree.
like supporting leads.
I can easily see that.
And there's no reason
taking you guys
why
with
it
me
shouldn't
everywhere.
happen. So that was also part of
Spartacus.
the reason why we did RAZE.
Get her on
and brought
Spartacus
Zoe
and that'd
in
be awesome.
because She, you know, she obviously has all the action and can do all the stunts, but like with RAZE, it was like let's really tap into what like we could get out of her, out of you as a friend, as well as like an actress, like emotionally. And I think what fed us.
He just wanted to see me cry.
I do. But like what fed us, I think, as lead actress and director was it made, correct me if I'm wrong, but it made for a really comfortable work environment because we knew each other so well. So she felt a little more at ease to go there emotionally.
Okay.
And I also knew when, because I know you so well, like if I didn't feel like it was real and like it was not quite there, I could be like,
I'm not feeling it.
You're-
I'd be like, I know,
you're
neither am I.
faking
Give
it
me
or
a
something,
second.
you know,
Yeah.
I think it's really.
I could
just
call
truly
it out, be like, that's
understand
not,
it. Yeah.
you know, and what
And I appreciated
ultimately
it.
came out
Yeah.
to me is like the most raw emotional performance that I've ever seen her give. So like it taps into all the action shit that we've all seen her do before, but it's the visceral, the essence of like all the action, like you really get how it affects you like psychologically.
Yeah, I'd love it.
I loved
How
watching
did
her
you
emotional
draw on
scenes.
that emotion? Did you reflect on your personal experience, or was it previous movies? Because some of the scenes were excellent when you reflected on your daughter. I kind of felt like I understood, even though you gave her for adoption, why you still was fighting because you didn't want anything to happen to her. So
Yeah.
how did you relate to your character?
A huge part of it for me is to create the character at the beginning, so it's all the fun make-believe stuff, and like I went into depth about her story, and I would talk to Josh about it. It was almost, even when we did the first piece as a short before the feature-length script was really in place, I had already established a very strong sense of who Sabrina was and where she came from, and the irony is I have an incredibly close relationship with my mum, and I don't have children. Sabrina doesn't know her dad, and her mum's an alcoholic fuck-up, and she gave up her kid for adoption. So, but for me, I know enough people in my life that when I created Sabrina's mum, I knew her.
Okay.
Like, I created her, and I was like, I just got goosebumps just now. I was like, I know that woman, and I know how the people in my life have been affected by that relationship. And so when I wrote something that I could feel, I made it part of Sabrina's stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just making this shit up as I go along, but it was working for me.
No, but I'm saying that you know that you did, you know, as an actress you did what actors should do.
Yeah.
Oh, like
You know?
her preparation was like crazy. Like when she showed her backstory, she's like, "What do you think of this?" And I would just, you know, I didn't want to intervene too much because that's every actor has their own process, and that's none of my fucking business. However they get to here, the only time it becomes my business is if they're creating some kind of backstory that is working against the actual script. So she'd be like, "What do you think of this?" And it was like pages of like
Oh,
backs,
wow.
like a biography. On
Print
screen.
it.
I was like,
Send it to everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't know that happened to you when you were 14.
It would be interesting
It
to
sounds like
write
a
that
prequel.
out,
Yeah.
actually.
What's that?
The prequel movie.
It would come across more of like it'd be like The Sandlot, except like a really like darker.
Oh wow.
It's like a Neil Gaiman or something.
Yeah. No, totally. Like Sabrina, like had the child when she was a
Yeah.
teenager, and Mum didn't know. She kept it a secret. I mean, I had the whole
Yeah. Sabrina, like
the
you've
whole-
never seen her before. 13.
pregnant teenager. Yeah.
But you still play the role. That would be the best part.
Yeah, just in pigtails.
CGI, CGI's come a long
So
way.
weird.
If
It's
you
like
guys
that
don't
picture of
mind, while we
Stallone.
have Josh, I'd like to know a little bit more about the film you got coming next, which is going to be, I think, probably one of the biggest films out there in
You mean
terms.
Cooties?
What? No,
Mechanic.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna, because of the situation. I think it's gonna, it's gonna get the biggest publicity of anything you've done so far. You don't think that situation is going to cause?
Look, it's a bittersweet
Yeah.
thing, because when you're dealing with the death
Yeah.
of
Of a lead
an
character.
actor, but like more like the death of a friend,
Right.
You're kind of like. But Corey was proud of the movie. He got to see the movie before he passed,
Oh, that's
like a
good.
month before he passed.
That's good. That's
He's
good.
the only actor that got to see it outside of David Morse, and
He was proud of it.
and he was very proud of it. Like
That's good.
We were together, and it was like he had an emotional response to his performance.
That's good.
And he was excited to like get it out there and have people see it. Now,
What?
unfortunately,
He won't get to see.
Unfortunately.
He won't get to see the reaction.
well, he's getting his wish.
Right.
People are going to see it, and
Yeah.
they are going to see it because he is spreading the word. He's just not spreading the word in the way that
Yeah.
obviously he or any of us want it.
All right.
So that's why it's bittersweet.
Yeah,
But
that's-
ultimately, I'm regardless of Corey's passing, like I'm proud of the film.
So it's all done. The post production is all
Oh,
finished.
yeah, I mean it premiered at Toronto.
Okay.
Like a few weeks ago, and it got bought.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, do we have those people that like leave while they're in the middle of an interview or something?
Their staff. So.
Oh,
They're,
so yeah. So Mechanic, I'm happy with Mechanic. I'm happy with both films.
Right.
We did them like I left to shoot Mechanic.
well, was it back? It was literally
4
back
weeks
to back.
after we wrapped RAZE. I drove out to Philadelphia, and while we were shooting Mechanic,
You did the
we were
post-production.
editing RAZE. And it was the same editor who did both
Oh, okay.
RAZE and Mechanic, and who's also doing Cooties for us right now.
That's a crazy year. Or
Yes,
crazy.
Yeah.
first 3 features for this editor.
Wow.
Yeah, and the guy's a legend.
Yeah.
What's next
Except
for
for
you?
He's a
It's a
legend.
legend.
Yeah, what's next for you, Zoe?
There's a couple of little, I'm not going to lie, RAZE has definitely taken up a lot of my personal life and professional life, and I'm
Okay.
happy for it to be that way. There's been a lot of the festival circuit this year. I did another couple of little movies with friends. One's called Freshwater, being edited at the moment, and another one's called Douglas Brown, which I think is finalised in post and is about to start doing film festivals and stuff. So for me, really, my attention is on RAZE. I've got a couple of projects that I'm sort of developing at the moment that I will talk about when I've got a little bit more traction or support underneath it. But I would like to produce more, and I definitely want to act more. I would love to do. You know what's ironic is I would love to do a comedy. I know it sounds ridiculous. It could have action in it if necessary, but
She's fine.
Yeah, you have great humor.
Yeah, you've got it. You've got
done.
it. It's
Thank
nothing-
you. Spread the word. Spread the
still
word.
got it.
I still got it. Zoe does an action/rom-com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll beat up the guy I'm in love with repeatedly. It'll be funny.